So, I want to share. Um, so it all goes back to 2016, when I was, I guess, fully awakened, so to speak, and I was channeling information, and I was at this point in my life where I was trying to understand more about who I am and the character I chose to play out this incarnation. And it's associated with the LGBT community, gay, homosexuals. So this video is inspired by this girl I saw on TikTok earlier, where she's talking about the Bible and the word homosexuality, and that homosexuality wasn't in the Bible until up until 1946, and was used to replace the word pedophile. So back in 2016, I was channeling, and at this point, the only thing I knew about myself, as I said, this is where I really woke up. It started from 2012 for me. But 2016 is when I had my Merkaba activated, my heart chakra opened. I was naive as it comes to love. I was so open that somebody did something to me and it had me shut down my heart chakra back then. But anyways, so let's talk about being gay and spiritual. So back in 2016, I was channeling information about homosexuals, and it was then that I knew that we were called twin souls, and it was back then that I knew that the deities, celestial bodies, gods, they're actually androgynous, or yeah, let's use the word androgynous, meaning that they look like both male and female, so they're two in one. And I was channeling to write a book about homosexuality and who we are and why we're here. And back then the information I got was so powerful that it shook me, and I was a little bit afraid again to come out with this information. And the information was as follows, if I can remember everything. That LGBT people, whether you are ascribed as a lesbian, homosexual, bisexual, transgender, asexual, and stuff of this sort. And this is because you have had more incarnations in this lifetime. It's because you have actually experienced before the whole color spectrum of the rainbow, so to speak. So in this lifetime, you assume something unconventional, not to the norm, because your soul is more advanced or more mature than others to actually hold these frequency and to actually manifest these lifestyles here on earth. And for me, the word manifestation means to show. So we manifest this life. So I'm just doing this video to just encourage my LGBT community brothers and sisters to hold your head up, keep your head up, and just to know that you are worthy. You were meant to be here. You're not some sin. You're not damned, and you're not condemned, and you're not going against any law of creation. You're actually embodying light, more love, and your vibration is one of a unconditional love vibration. But because of what we see here in the third dimensional realm, we don't interpret it as such. But because of the church and Christianity and what they put in the Bible, and coming from a religious standpoint, that it's wrong to be gay or stuff like that. And it was shown to me back in 2016 that it was malicious, and it was deliberate, the changes and how they demonize LGBT people, how they demonize the rainbow flag. And as you can see, it doesn't only stem with the LGBT community, but every other community unconventional that goes against their code. of being has been demonized. So let's get in a little bit more about the LGBT aspect of this and creation and nature. So we know that the world as we know it, well, the old world is polarized in patriarchy and in the masculine energy. And as such, what they do, they demonize the feminine aspect, the feminine energy. So there's been an imbalance for ages. So nature heard the call of Gaia, the world, the feminine aspect. So what nature did, nature took it into her hands or his hands to bring about more masculine bodies, physical bodies, masculine, but with polarized with feminine energy to help to balance out the unhealthy masculine patriarchy here on Gaia. So this is why there's a lot of LGBT people, transsex, transgender, and stuff like that. So I'm coming from the divine feminine aspect, and these are the ones who are polarized in the feminine energy. As well, you do have lesbians who are polarized in the masculine energy, and that in itself also is to bring balance. They are the positive masculine energy that is helping to balance out the negative polarity of the energies. So I was shown that LGBT people, homosexual people, especially the effeminate ones, are polarized with the divine feminine energy. And why they demonize us is because we are very powerful. We are actually healers. We are healers, creatives, and stuff like that. But anyways, they flip the script. They have us to believe that we operate best in our lower vibratory energies, meaning that they use LGBT people as sex symbols, and they make it seem as if we're only interested in the sexual aspect of things and we can't go above the root chakra. And I was told that I will be one of the starseed who will be helping other LGBT members to break from the beliefs or mindset that something is wrong with them and that they're going against God's will. Well, you're not going against God's will. God's will is your will. And if you find it that you're doing something without bringing harm to anybody, but just assuming yourself and being yourself and shining your light, that's what you're here to do. That was a part of your mission. For me, I must say that I am free. I love myself. I accept myself, every part of me, and my homosexuality is not who I am, but it's a part of this experience that I'm having. And this video is really to just let you guys know that you are worthy, you deserve to be here, and you're not the devil, you're not the demon, you're not here on some kind of agenda to end um, the the continuation of the human species. Actually, we're here to help the human species by balancing the energies out and to stop discrimination and violence against the feminine energies. So we chose to come in a masculine body because physically we will be stronger than a woman physically, and we embody the feminine energy to be nurturing to those masculines who are polarized in the unhealthy masculine. I'm not remember that word that they use for masculinity, for the polarized masculinity. Well, I'm not sure really. Anyways, so this is why we've chose masculine bodies too, but we play out with the feminine energy. And it's the same thing for whatever dynamic you find yourself in, whether you're a transgender man, transgender woman, whether you're a lesbian, whether you're a lipstick lesbian or a butch. You are special and you're very powerful, and this is really to let you guys know that above everything else, above all, you guys are the healers. You guys are the true unisons of the energies embodying pure masculine and feminine energies. And you were born balanced. You came in this world balanced in these energies, but as you grow up, you fragmented yourself based on the experiences you had as a child when you heard that it is not right for you to be who you are. And as I speak about this, I would just want to go back to something that happened to me when I was about 8 years old, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm Jamaican. I'm from Jamaica. I remember at 8 years old, I'm always effeminate from I was a child, and I never took it as anything. I always knew that this is just me. There was no thought in my mind that something is wrong with me or I'm going against some kind of universal codes or laws. And I remember this day, I left my house. I was going to visit a friend, and this is in Jamaica. And there was this guy. He died like a couple years afterwards. And I was just there, and I left my house, and I was going around the corner, and this guy saw me, and he was like, Batman. Yeah, Batman. It was the first time I'm hearing this word. I never knew what that word meant. But how he said it to me, I felt every fiber. I felt the hate. I felt the resentment. I felt the grudge. I felt everything negative behind those words. I never knew what the word meant, Batman, at that time. I was only 8 years old. But when that guy said that to me, may his soul rest in peace. His name is Ginger Lee. When he said it to me, I felt the hate. I felt so much hate and pain. And I turned around and I cried, and I ran home crying. And when I got home, my mother was there. She was asking me what happened. And my aunt was there too, and I told her that this guy called me a Batman. And mind you, I didn't know what the word Batman meant at the time. I was 8 years old. But as I said, I felt the hate behind it, and I was crying. And my mom was asking me, what's wrong with you? And I told him that this guy saw me walking and he called me a Batman. And it was after that I discovered what the word Batman meant. My aunt, my aunt Nana, she tried to explain what it meant to me, and she used all kind of what do you call them when the words are close, simile, and she explained being bored man, being this, all kind of something. Anyways, I got the point afterwards, and I wasn't upset because that was who I am, but just because I felt the hate behind that. And right there I fragmented myself, not wanting to be a Batman. And from there on, the age of 8 until for the next 10 years of my life, I tried to change from being a homosexual. I went to church, I prayed, all kind of things, and it never changed. I prayed for a lot of things, and I got those things, except that one thing is to change to be heterosexual. So I remember at the age of 17, I looked up to the skies and I said, well, this is who I am, and I'm accepting who I am, and I know that I will find people who are just like me. And that was the only thing that kept me alive until today. 2020, June 2020, if it wasn't for my sexual orientation, maybe I wouldn't be among you guys today. It was the only thing that I had to hold on to when I was a child to keep me going. And it's funny enough that it kept me going, and why it kept me going was because something deep inside of me told me that if I'm a loving being, I try not to hurt people, and I was just being myself, and everybody is and everything seems to be against me. And there was something deep down inside of me that told me, whenever you see the majority is against a certain notion, that means you're doing something correct. And that was the only thing that held me, kept me alive. I stayed. And I wanted to say a big thank you to the LGBT community. If it wasn't for the LGBT community, I don't think I would be here where I am today. And I want to say thank you guys for being brave enough, all the other LGBT leaders and and militants who came before myself, I want to say thank you for the work that you've put in, and I am here now and I'm representing, and I just want to say to other LGBT people that you are amazing. You're fucking awesome. You're healers. You're so powerful that they try to dumb you down. They know how powerful we are, that they demonize us, that they tell us all kind of bullshit about ourselves. And I just want you to know that love you. Be true to yourself, no matter what the odds against you. And yeah, and another thing that I was getting for the LGBT community is that I'm not judging anybody, but I do think the majority of us, we're polarized in our lower chakras. We operate a lot from the lower realms, and I think it's about time for us to get above the lower chakra system and go up to the other higher realms, to step into our God selves or God power or healing nature, to really show the world what we're capable of doing and how awesome we are. So that was just my message for now, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye for now. And then if you can remember to keep smiling, keep shining. No.